Donald Trump just finished coupping our government. You might not be worried, and you might not even know what that means, but you need to care. It means there are no more obstacles or checks left standing in the way of Trump's agenda. He's been handed the keys of the castle by our Supreme Court. What does all this mean, and why do you need to care? I'm here to tell you. What happened this week in our Supreme Court was nothing less than chopping the head off of our judicial oversight. This is a check and balance on our executive branch, preventing them from enacting and enforcing unlawful or harmful actions and federal policies. We have a system of federal district courts, 12 of them spread out in regions across our country that have the power to issue national injunctions. What these national injunctions are a nationwide policy block that can happen when a court finds that a policy or action by our executive branch is unlawful. They can prevent people's rights from being violated or from people being outright harmed. It's a very powerful and effective check on our president's executive orders. Now, what our Supreme Court ruled just 3 days ago on June 27, 2025, was on a case concerning Donald Trump's executive order banning birthright citizenship. The question was, should courts be allowed to continue issuing these sweeping national injunctions? The Supreme Court said no. Now, this would be all right if there were another effective check on our president's power, but there's not really one. Congress is not a check. Donald Trump installed loyalists top to bottom in the executive branch, and now our courts, like I said, chopped off the head of their ability to do their job of judicial oversight. Now there's not a single mechanism in our government, not a check, not a person besides the president himself, who can stop policies before they start harming Americans. This is not all it does. It's not even the worst thing. Here's where it gets crazy. This is the number one thing Trump's been pushing for since before he got inaugurated. He's been screaming online alongside his allies about these activist judges that are threatening our democracy. The real reason he doesn't like them is because they're the ones who come in to save the day and stand in the way of his unlawful actions. They gave him exactly what he wanted. The way is paved for him. There's no more national injunctions. Judges can't do a thing to him. You need to learn this last term for the most important part. That term is American Bulcanization. Bulcanization. What does that mean? It means the process involving the fragmentation of a country into smaller units. This word refers to the historical fragmentation of the Balkan Peninsula into numerous ethnic and religious groups. So American Balkanization refers to the fragmentation of the United States into a bunch of small units, our states. Now that our Supreme Court majority has killed national injunctions, every single state in our country must challenge our government and win in each of their courts to block a policy. For example, say Donald Trump issues an executive order tomorrow giving Palantir the power to compile and track every single American in a database using private and government data. What are you gonna do? Before, all it would take is one case making it to the federal district courts and them ruling a national injunction protecting every American. But now it's not so simple. Say maybe a quarter of US states sue the government, maybe half of them win. Okay, that's people in 7-8 states who are protected. But what about you? You don't live in one of those states. Okay, there's a case in your state, but it's not a class action, and it doesn't include you, so even if they win, you are still going to be tracked. Okay, you need your state to sue the government, but your state attorney general just said he won't. The only thing you could do is sue them yourself. You don't have the resources, funds, or time to do that. You would just have to wait or move out into a state that did appeal and get an injunction for the state. Apply this to literally anything possible. Maybe it's a ban on gun magazines. Maybe it's a ban on abortion access. Maybe it's got to do with voting rights. Maybe your right to vote will be taken away and your state won't do a thing about it. What will happen over time is a massive rift in the realities faced by citizens in different states or districts and the rights they have in different areas. Over time, this is going to balkanize our country. American Balkanization. There was a law a few months ago that Republicans in Congress tried to pass that basically took away the voting rights for American adults whose last name no longer matched their birth certificates. Maybe they got married and took the surname of their spouse. Maybe they just changed their last name. What this would have done is take away the voting rights of tens of millions of Americans, especially our women. Now imagine, that could easily be put into an executive order. It doesn't matter if it's illegal or unconstitutional or whatever. If your state doesn't protect you by suing our government and winning, or you join a class action lawsuit, you're screwed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if everyone else across the country wins on a case. If you're not part of it, you're not voting. So this is the beginning of American Balkanization. I know we already had different laws between states, but none of them had as big of a difference as this makes. Realities lived by people, especially in red states versus blue states, will begin to look very different, not in a good way. I hope you appreciate this. Share so more people see this message. And if you want to support the continuation of my work, I rely on you guys. You can go to my bio to find a way to support me. Thank you.